So they're batteries in, huh?
Yes, they work now. So I think I turned your guys' on, so you just should click it and then
Do what?
Hello,
you just click it.
sounds real loud.
Is it on? I think I put batteries in.
Yeah.
It should have the, green. There you go. When it's green, it's on or hot.
Good evening. Welcome to the City of Guadalupe's Parks and Recreation Commission meeting, Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. Do we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Chair Joseph Harris,
Here.
Commissioner Enrique Ortiz,
Here.
Commissioner Emily Drilling,
Here.
Commissioner Michael Jimenez,
Here.
and vacant seat.
We have the pledge of allegiance. Okay. That's good. That's off, please. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Item number 3 right now, we don't have anybody in our audience, so we'll move to the consent calendar. Item number 4. The following items are presented to the commission's approval without discussion as a single agenda item in order to expedite the meeting. Should a member of the Recreation and Parks Commission wish to discuss or disapprove an item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion of approval and considered as a separate item. Item A, approval of the minutes of the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting, special meeting on September 19th, 2023. Looking for a motion and approval or a second.
A motion?
We have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion, second. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved. Thank you. Moving down to the regular business. The Boys and Girls Club monthly update. I believe
They are not here. I don't know if maybe they thought because we had the last one like 2 weeks ago or a week ago or whenever
Yeah.
that maybe we didn't have one. I did send them the invite, but they didn't confirm or decline or anything. So I'll just follow up with them tomorrow and ask them to send me like a written one, and then I'll email that to you guys.
sounds great. Thank you.
And I saw, was it last time that Daisy's moving over to Aces then? Do they know who the replacement?
Yeah, so he was here last time. His
Oh.
name is Josue Rojas.
Well, that's it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Move to item number 6, Moonlit Movie Madness.
Give me 1 second. So I just posted the newsletter with that information.
It looked like the last movie night was really
I
successful.
was passing by as was going on. I was coming back from a football game, crossing over the river. And were people out there?
Yeah, I think there was only like 23 or no, on the Facebook thing that had said they were gonna go, but there was like 40 from what
Nice.
Ernesto was out there, and I was kind of running around because I couldn't find my charger for my laptop, and I was really scared that it was gonna die like in the middle of the movie. So I kept going back and forth to City Hall, like going to my office, going to other people's office, trying to find a charger. So I wasn't really paying attention, but then at the end when we were packing everything up, I asked them like, "Oh, how'd you guys do?" And they were like, "We actually sold out of like our hot dogs.
Nice.
We had only like a few jalapeno poppers left, so we did really good." And he was like, "You guys had like 40 something people though, like with all the kids and everything." And I was like, "Oh, that's good."
Thanks for your response.
Yes, thank you.
I really appreciate you guys going.
That's awesome. We know what people like now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Outdoor movies.
It can only get better now.
So for this one, I already put together an updated flyer for some of the stuff that we talked about. So I'm gonna actually have it start, because when I did the mask, I just had the movie start at 8:15, but I'm gonna start like the event at 7 o'clock. And that'll be when the costume contest is, and I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do that. I think I'm just gonna do it kind of like informally, where you just like hold your hand over heads and like, okay, like cheer if you like this, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Have somebody go like this.
Joe, if you go, you can be
Joey
the
can be
the meter.
official judge. When's the movie night?
October 20th. So we'll have best overall, cutest, scariest, and most creative. And then I'll start playing like little animation shorts at 8 o'clock just to kind of get people to kind of settle down. And then 8:15 will be Hocus Pocus, and then 9:55 will be the Addams Family. And then Lobo Butcher Shop will be out again. And then we're also gonna have a Sweet Affair. So they came out for the softball championship, and everybody
Was good
loves
stuff.
their stuff. It's so good.
People go out there and snack.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, that's pretty much it. We've talked about most of that stuff the last time. I just wanted to come back with the updates that I added. And all the newsletters are always in English and Spanish, so I've advertised it both ways to try to get more people to come out. I did just notice on the last movie night, which it's hard to keep up with all the social media with everything else. Somebody had commented in Spanish and they said that they live by the park, but they wanted to know like what the event is. So I sent him the new one and then told him like, oh, I apologize, I didn't see this until later, but it's just like a movie night. And I had somebody else check my Spanish because I feel like I learned more like formal Spanish because a lot of the Spanish that I know was from learning it from school, and no one really like talks like that in real life. So I always will write stuff out and then show it to somebody and they kind of like laugh and they're like, people don't say that. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so that's advertised both ways. Right now we have 20 going, which we still have some time. So I think I'm gonna try to go door knocking at some point and then just hand out flyers. Maybe I'll just do the whole newsletter. That's pretty much it on that, unless you guys have anything else that you wanted me to add to that.
I'm just glad we
So,
get
yeah.
that response.
Hot dog, popcorn.
I don't know if he's gonna do the same stuff last time or this time. I don't think he had popcorn, but I know he had hot dogs and wings, and
Popcorn's a good, it's a good easy seller.
that's true. If
Super
anything,
cheap,
I can just go get
Yeah,
popcorn. Well, I mean, we have the popcorn machine. I think I might bring it out this time. Last time was just kind of harder because I had just barely planned to do the movie night, so I didn't have everything together, but I should be able to do it for this one.
it's a little bag,
Mhm.
whatever the price is.
Because we did that for when we did movie nights last year in the auditorium, we did it. It was just easier because it was inside. But I mean, we have like the actual popcorn machine and everything, so I should be able to do it. I mean,
That Sweet Affairs lady has like everything. She brought like cakes, Rice Krispie treats, brownies, like those kids are like double fisting at the softball game. They loved it.
That's funny.
You know, another place we might be able to advertise, could we ever put the newsletter in the buses? Like where it's something when people are sitting on the bus, they could like read it while they're,
oh yeah.
'cause I was thinking like, who might we attract to a free event like this, and might be a good place to pull some people.
Yeah, let me talk to either Dwayne or Dianera to see
School.
how to do that.
School.
We just have to get it approved by the superintendent ahead of time.
Is it?
Well, that's what's hard, because when I first did reach out to the school, the first thing that they said was just to put it on Parent Square. And I had asked like, well, could we do like flyers in there? Because I think they have like take home folders still, right? But they just said like, oh no, we do all of our stuff through Parent Square. And I was like, oh, okay.
As soon as we have to go there and put it in the box or have it all counted out for them.
Do
Oh,
they have dedicated social media for like Kermit McKenzie and Mary Buren and stuff? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I will
I just feel
ask.
like that's our population. It would be really nice if they would support.
It's actually.
It's always worked for
And
a
it-
gospel program. So we were first to schools.
I never advertised to the school, it's always kind of like pulling teeth.
Mhm.
So I kind of gave up on it too, I know, but
Yeah,
it's kind of hard sometimes.
I'll have to go with you.
Yeah, good.
I'll
Like you're a heavy hitter, then go.
I'll ask if they have specific social media for the schools, but either way, Joe and I can
Yeah,
go hit it up. I think that's it for the movie. I think today's agenda is gonna be pretty short.
I'm really glad to hear about the movie, Count. Real good.
Mhm.
Great response from the city.
Cause a year ago, we only had 2 families.
I know,
Look
it
how
really
much-
was. I know.
Brings a reason to bring the popcorn machine out.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's time to break down
We
the
got
popcorn
people-
machine, we have 45 people.
There we go.
You didn't take any pictures or anything?
I did. I just have them saved, just like in my
Let's do
archive.
that. Oh, that is like fun.
Mhm.
You can't really see like the people though. You
That's
can,
okay though, that's.
Yeah.
Just, little bit. Just
I
little
did
bit.
post, I posted before as like an announcement reminding everybody, and then I posted during, like right at the beginning, and then kind of towards the middle too. So I did try to like show people, but you just can't see because it's really dark.
Like, when like for us, when we have, at all the games, I would have to take pictures, take videos. And post them, and parents, they post some good videos, good pictures.
Oh, to tell them to post. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I'll have to,
We're doing it too.
Yeah.
Part of the game.
I'll announce that at the beginning.
That'd be easier on you if you don't have to.
Yeah, especially because we're doing the costume contest. I'll let them know at the very beginning, like, okay, like make sure that you post and tag us.
Yeah,
Um,
there you go.
That would be good. Okay, let me.
I wonder if we can't get traction with this school, how's the relationship with the ACES program? Isn't that facilitated by Boys and Girls Club? Like, could we try to work that angle to at least hit some of
To
the
do
kids?
flyers through ACES. Yeah, I'll ask.
They have flyers there too.
Yeah.
I'll email Daisy later. Okay. Okie dokie.
If there's any more comments on item numbers 6? The move the adult volleyball tournament.
Okay, so not that I don't want to do volleyball, but I think we're kind of past that point already, because I started thinking about it and I was like, you know what, they're gonna be done with their season already, or at least for junior high, in like a week or so.
They have basketball still.
Yeah, they're gonna start basketball in November, so I was almost thinking that we should just switch it to a basketball tournament instead.
Right, everybody, right?
Mhm. And still do the same thing, like I can still keep it open to different like age divisions,
Yeah.
and then just invite who they play for junior high too, because that's usually, at least from what I remember from when I used to play, that's how they used to do tournaments. They'd always do it like before the actual season started, so that way you can kind of like get a feel for your team and figure out like,
Start.
yeah. So I think I'm gonna do that instead, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think price would still be similar. The only difference would be, I don't know if you guys think it should be 5-on-5 or should be like a 3v3 tournament.
Depending on the, what you want. I mean, what age groups do you want? Who do you want to come? Like, do you want schools to come? Do you want, what demographic are you looking at? If you want adults out, you could do three.
That's what I was
Different
thinking,
divisions.
actually, to do junior high and high school 5-on-5 and then do adult 3-on-3. Okay,
Oh, sounds good.
Because 3-on-3, you could actually have two games going on at the same time.
that's true, because you could just do half court, or we could even do Leroy and,
Oh.
because for volleyball, we weren't doing that because Leroy's ceilings are really low, but we could do the younger age groups at Leroy and then do adult over here.
Yeah,
That's a
that
good
would be
idea.
fun.
Frankie, front door.
I don't know, it sounded like it. I don't know somebody's trying to break in here.
Hey. I can walk and go over there.
If I hear it again, I'll go check right now. It might just be, volleyball getting out late, because they're here.
Yeah, there's people, yeah.
Yeah, they're here till, they practice till 5:45, but a lot of times the coaches stay and like talk about stuff afterwards, so it could just be them. Uh, I think I had, when Joe and I had talked about volleyball with the volleyball people, we had talked about doing Saturday for the younger ones and then Sunday for the adult division, but I don't know, should we just do it all in one day since we have both facilities? But then I don't know if that's gonna cause problems, because if there's some adults that like their kids play,
Mhm.
if they're scheduled like at the same time, I don't know if that would be an
What
issue.
about refs? Do you think we have enough refs or is there enough to cover both?
I mean, I know Jesus knows a lot of people. I know Jesus and John would do it for sure. It might be better to do it 2 days, actually.
I wish I could do it.
I think it would be better to do it 2 days, actually, so that way we know for sure that we have enough referees, because I'm sure if we do get a lot of people, I'm sure they don't want to be here like all day. They would do it, but mm,
And I could check with some referees over the city league,
mm,
over that.
okay. And for the younger division, I would ref. I don't mind. I used to ref. I just don't like reffing adults because they're scary.
I will not ref, but I'll work the door or something if you need
Okay.
help checking people in.
Yeah, for sure.
What is that again?
We didn't pick a date yet, so I don't know. I was thinking still doing it in November. Maybe like November, maybe like November 11th and 12th.
Veterans Day.
Oh.
You want to just before Thanksgiving, huh?
Yeah. And I don't know about doing it the 18th and the 19th, because I know some people take off like really early.
I think it's
It's the week, give me, when's Thanksgiving?
The
the
20,
26th, the Thursday, or it'll be the fourth Thursday. I know we have Expo the 5th.
the 23rd. Yeah, November 23rd.
Do you think people will be back home after Thanksgiving, but before Christmas, that first weekend in December?
By that point, I think they start their season already, don't they? Huh?
Usually on the 15th of December when they put vacation.
Is when they start their league? Or
The
when?
league on I'm not sure.
Because I know that they're gonna do, I'm trying to remember the schedule that they told me. They're gonna do their tryouts October, I think it was like the 19th and the 20th. So I'm almost, I don't know if that would be enough time, but maybe just like the 4th and the 5th. That doesn't give me like a whole lot of time, but if I advertise it literally like by tomorrow, then that's still a month. But that might be the best time to do it, actually.
Because by December, they're going to turn it possibly.
I feel like I think it should be that first weekend of November though, because that next weekend is, what'd you say, Veterans Day?
Mhm.
And then the weekend after, people might already be leaving for Thanksgiving. The 25th and 26th, obviously, people are gonna be gone. I think unless we do like I mean, it all just depends on how many people we get. Because if we did like a Friday night for adults and then Saturday for the kids, we could do.
Do you think people will be gone for Veterans Day or I mean, it's not like
I
a,
don't think.
I
I mean, we could, I mean, just do it over that weekend and just call it good, because I don't think we're gonna get a lot.
Veterans Day too, Veterans Day tournament.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
incorporate it into the theme,
That's a good idea.
because I don't think the city's doing anything else for Veterans Day.
No,
So we
No,
can, you
because
know,
usually
Veterans Day is on the 11th, a Saturday.
mhm.
we
I think
could
it's
try to
always
just
called The 11th. do
do it all on the 12th. So that way it's not on Veterans Day at all. We could still call it like a Veterans Day or Veterans Weekend tournament or something.
yeah,
Um,
First
Mm.
annual.
Yeah. Our first annual basketball tournament, Veterans Day tournament. I mean, the only thing on Sundays is I know sometimes families are like pretty protective of their church time in the morning, which
mhm.
goes a little later, but I think we could, if we wanted to do 2 days, I don't think we discourage people by having it on Veterans Day. I think if
Yeah.
nothing else, people like, that's a holiday they like to get together and go do something fun together.
That's true.
They might like that.
people always wanna compete,
They wanna compete,
you always wanna compete.
and then if you add food in, they'll like that.
Say, oh, goodness, they come up that day. All right.
I can see, I can't remember because I think Deke had said that I forget which post he's from, but or they're the Vietnam vets is the one that Deke Segovia is a part of. But I think he said that they're like going out of town to do a different event, but I can ask him what time he's gonna be back because we could try to do like a color guard
Oh, that'd be cool.
thing before and then ask somebody to sing the national anthem or something like that. Cause now we have the
That'd
nice
be cool.
PA system.
Yeah. that would be cool.
Okay, let me
Sounds
ask.
good.
Color guard. Who's gonna sing the national anthem, Joe?
They do.
Let's see.
Okay, I will. Cause we'll have a meeting before that, but I also kind of want to let you guys know what's going on. So I'll work on this tomorrow and try to put it together for the most part and then send you guys along with the Boys and Girls Club email or update. I'll send you guys the update for this too. Any other thoughts on that? So what did I say? The 12th, 11th and the 12th? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. Really good start. Item number 8, Jackal Congo turf.
I don't have anything else other than I know that you asked me for stuff. I just haven't had time to do it, but I will do it this week, I promise.
No worries. I have,
Um,
like only 3 updates on it. So one, the lady, Miss Rose, who did the grant, or they were the company that oversaw the grant for the Royal Theater. I have a call with her on Thursday. So there's a partnership now between the city and what's the name of their company? Do you remember? It's,
Are you talking about the city grant
yeah,
facilitator?
Palms Group or
to-
something.
Yeah,
So we have a call on Thursday, to just talk about like, kind of how they leverage. Thompson, yeah, them to leverage some of the, you know, how they approach for the Royal Theater grant. Understanding more about what their role is in grant writing for the city and how I can help work with them or how we might be able to work different efforts, together. So that's on Thursday. And then on Monday, I have a meeting with Adam from the dispensary. What was the name of his Roots? Am I thinking of the right one?
slow Cal, right?
Yeah,
Cal Roots?
Slow Cow Roots. And so we're meeting with him on Monday, and then I have a meeting on Tuesday with the person who did the Lompoc project, to talk about how they funded that, what their strategies were, and she works for an organization called Healthy Living Lompoc. And so the goal is just for her to kind of give me their playbook that they use, so I have a better starting point of where we're at. But we are gaining some traction, which is good, a month in, so I think it'll be, the key is to meet with these initial people, but then I would like to propose for the commission, I think we need to sit down and kind of go over what is our true envisionment for this? Like, are we
Yes, yes.
talking the track, the turf, the lights, I mean, I want everything, but I also want to be realistic too.
Right.
So I'd love to meet maybe outside of our normal meeting and just see if we want to have that as a planning meeting. And then I know one of the things that Lompoc did when they were getting their track up and going was they identified some key stakeholders in the community that may have some interest in helping provide input as to what the community may want. So I don't think it's at a point where we want like the floodgates of anybody living in the community to bring forward their input at this point. But if there's some individuals that may, or organizations that may have some vested interest in bringing this type of facility to the city, I thought that might be another person after we come up with our concept, then we would bring it to them and say, okay, you know, what does Boys and Girls Club think of this? What does the school potentially, I know that was one thing when I was looking over Lompoc's plans, the city or Lompoc worked really closely with the school district. They actually gave quite a bit of money towards the project. I don't think that's gonna be the case in this, but I think identifying, like, if they wanna be able to utilize it, they're gonna have to pay for it, so.
Mm.
Those are kind of my updates. Do you guys have anything else that, as far as thoughts on it, where we're at right now?
I think the school, if we do end up having like a track around the field, I think they would donate something potentially, because I know Terry Bauer is really into track and field and doing like cross country events. I just don't think, I think the difference with Lompoc is they have like a really good, well, I don't know if they have a good football program, but they have a high school football program. So that's probably why they were more invested in it, where we just have elementary and junior high.
There's like, you gotta go to Texas, junior high, or any other, even like in Fresno area, they're nice football fields.
But the school doesn't have their own football program, right? It's just all.
Just from what I've seen, I always see the, I don't know if they're playing in high schools or junior highs, I'm not, because a lot of, I've heard that a lot of the junior highs, they have football in their school.
I mean, would you guys want that though? Because you guys have Guadalupe.
Oh, wow, but around in our area, it's not like that, which I
Yeah.
think it kind of should be, but it just isn't.
Yeah.
So, but still, I think just having that field here, it'll, you know, encourage kids to play football.
Yeah. That's true.
Farm program and like probably even like Orchid Academy would come out here and use our field, you know, who knows? Cause they don't have a field themselves, they go to you know, they go to Spaghetti or, you know, wherever, San Maria, wherever there's still available.
I'm into dinner.
Yeah, so it's gonna bring people, you know, not just football, it's gonna be a lot of soccer,
Yeah,
There's not
that's
enough-
true.
There's not enough field in Santa Maria,
Mhm.
you know, and you know they're gonna wanna use it.
Mhm.
I've been pretty happy with how much interest initially, like I was gone for 2 weeks, and so I couldn't take a lot of these meetings with people until I got back last Friday, but how many people initially, like especially Adam was like, hey, I know a lot of people that might be interested, and like I think a lot of these initial meetings will be like the first of a lot of meetings,
Right,
people that are wanting to help back the project, but I think the first thing we really need to get is like, what do we actually want?
I remember that.
I feel like you know exactly what you want, so just tell me what it is.
It's pretty basic, those are basically almost like War Memorial, a snack bar,
Mhm.
you know, we don't need a big old stadium, you know, big old bleachers, but some bleachers, you know, something reasonable. You know.
Yeah.
And, you know, who knows, I mean, I don't know,
But would it be a multi-use complex?
of course,
Mhm.
yeah,
And what would we be using it for other than football?
soccer.
Soccer.
Soccer and
Track
track.
and whatever we can think of. You know, they give it, you know what I mean,
In Orcutt,
Rugby, they could start rugby
Rugby.
out here.
rugby.
in Orcutt, they have, is it multi-use?
So the one in Lompoc, that's the one I'm most familiar with, is that they have a like cross-functional fitness area. So it has like different little machine, like not like you'd see like a true machine at a gym, but like step ups and things. It tells you how to do it. It's all
Like a
outdoor.
Course, I think they used to call them. right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like, the one in Orchid, right? That has like the little,
The bar dips, pull-ups.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So they have that area and then the opportunity to bring track and field, soccer, football. And I really want to be able to create some signage that will drive people back to the businesses here because
Mm,
Yes.
that was one of the big things when we talked to
Mhm.
city council was that like from the RERC planning meeting that we did back in April, everybody wants more money to come into town, but nobody really wants the town to grow, which I understand there's not really that many places for it to grow anyway. And so just running the initial numbers, like if we could host anywhere from just like one tournament per month, it could almost be an input of like $500,000 extra dollars coming into the revenue of our businesses for small business owners, but then the tax that the city gets on it too. So I think there's a lot of potential there if we can get people to want to stay here.
well, when I went to VCA, even though we were a private school, a lot of the funding didn't really go back into like athletics. So what they would do is reach out to them, like I don't wanna say detail, stakeholders that had more money. And then they would put up like their banners for their businesses or whatever. So maybe trying to reach out to the businesses in town and say like, if you commit to donate like a certain amount of money every year that goes into like, especially initially, like the construction of everything, but eventually like just the maintenance of it every year, like we'll keep your banners up, like, I don't know if that would be something that from that money, we would make their banners or they would donate their banners. Yeah,
They would move the banner, I think.
Now, would this be fenced?
Yes.
So that's how War Memorial and Lompoc is it's actually like a fenced off field, open dawn to dusk.
yeah, I think it would have to be
And schedule,
because,
schedule.
Yeah.
practices.
So no lights.
But that's,
It had
It does have
has lights for like
Yeah.
night games and stuff, so like we would have the capability, cause right now if we host a home game in Guadalupe, we don't, like 3 o'clock's our cutoff. Or did we do a 5 o'clock game last year?
I think we did.
That's dicey.
Yeah, you know, getting dark. So like in Arroyo Grande, they have a Soto Field and we play football games out there and they have lights out there. And you know, they're not the huge lights, but they're, you know, they work.
Something with solar panels.
That's an idea. Batteries, maybe.
I think too, one of the things, especially, uh-oh. We'll cut this out of the meeting.
Is this on camera?
Don't worry, I won't put it in the minutes. Are you okay?
Let's do this.
I mean, I would love that. I would, you know.
Yeah.
If it's allowed. and-
Well, I think, you know, like a wish list, obviously.
Of course.
And then you can have everything, you know, the infrastructure put in so that if you can't afford it, like at least you have everything ready for them where you don't have to retrench and stuff. you know?
I think for sure, given especially even just the graffiti that just happened out there this weekend, cameras and like, what are those? Like floodlights for all the entrances, because I just, it's very hard for us to keep things nice here, unfortunately.
Cameras.
Thankfully, because Leroy Park has, I think because of how many cameras they have and there's lighting everywhere, like it's really hard to do anything
Right.
bad over there.
Vandalize.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's dark, hide more. Yeah.
I mean, even over there, even though I was saying like that you can't catch it on your phone camera, like when it's dark out there, it's really well lit. Like you could see everything still because there's lights all the way in the back. Like there's no areas where it's super dark and you can't see anything.
Mhm.
So I think just making sure that there's good lighting and then like additional floodlights that are like sensories to have on, maybe just like at night, like motion sense, cameras and lights.
I've been finding a lot of extra money or grants that are specific to public safety too,
Mhm.
so we could definitely align that with part of it.
Public safety come parking.
That's a hard one too.
Good parking.
I think that's gonna be our biggest issue out there, but I think we're gonna have to get creative with where or how we utilize the new bus maybe, or
Mm.
like. Somehow getting people out there, cause that is gonna be an issue.
I mean, I have always thought this and I just know, or I don't know, I shouldn't assume that, but I feel like the mayor would not be very on board with it because of how much money they put into like trenching and stuff. But that area has been, the area that's supposed to be the baseball field eventually has been like that for almost 2 years now, for sure, since I've been here. And they're not doing anything with it. It's hard for them to move forward. I think that would be like the best spot to put additional parking in, but that would have to be,
To have baseball. Field somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but
You have, other than that one, there's nothing.
My idea was, since that disputed road right there,
mhm,
I can't even park near the. So, is actually have a road built in front of the.
Like a frontage road, right?
Right in front of the water, there is one there, but it's disputed to who owns it, so.
or maybe just that,
The other side,
the,
great parking there.
okay, when you first come into the park,
Right.
is that, what direction is that? Like what? Is that north?
I think it's
Yeah.
North.
Yeah,
I feel like almost that north side of the field has that like divot or whatever, yeah, the drop in it where you can't really play like at an angle anyway, so maybe just turning that,
oh. you
Into
need like
additional
the-
parking.
It's almost like a basin.
yeah.
That's the south end of it.
Oh, south, yeah, so the south end, maybe just making that additional
Yeah.
parking,
Oh, that's a great idea. That
because
is a great idea,
you already have,
and that eliminates more grass,
mhm,
more maintenance.
mhm.
It's a great idea.
Cause you could just tear it up and have it DG like how Leroy is
Yeah,
on that
fill it
one
up.
side.
On average, for a game, how many cars?
Oh, there's a lot.
A lot. It could get quite chaotic.
100, 200,
Then you got that many out of towners too.
Well, you figure,
it's an
you
outside.
figure there's 20 kids per team.
40.
So you figure
Forty.
at least 2 parents and kids.
And then the grandparents, the friends, I mean, I've been shocked at how many cars roll into our game.
About 100-ish, maybe.
Yeah, at least 100 or
At least
more,
100.
maybe 200.
And then
Currently-
sometimes there's overlap where like one team's getting there while the other team's still playing.
That's kind of like how you plan it.
Yeah.
People have time to exit. But how many parking stalls are there now?
Oh, there's only like,
10,
no, there's more than
20,
that.
30.
Probably like
20-ish.
20 or 30, yeah.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Cause I didn't think it was possible.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, I haven't asked or
No,
anything,
it's still
but
a great idea.
It is though.
let me ask.
It makes sense.
that makes sense. 'Cause they just use that area for flooding.
I'm not sure which area you're talking about, but I have to go.
The
see.
closest to the road,
Yeah,
right?
yes. yes.
To
South end.
Closest to the main. road?
Main Street, yeah.
There's like a little hill that drops,
Oh,
like a basin
okay.
almost, which it is, 'cause if it's. I've never seen it gets flooded a little bit, there's like some rocks over there where it gets, where they have, it gets drained, but. Even with this last torrential rain that we had, it didn't flood.
It was,
So that was designed for it, cause when they built our field the first time, they actually put like an oversized crown, they kind of like duped us. Oh yeah, we wanted this, yeah, they did, I mean.
I think too, if we can remove as much grass as possible, because right with the water amount, that's when like, no rush on those numbers, but when I was just running like the basic calculations. I wouldn't be shocked if we're spending at minimum $500,000 watering.
I think
that place.
Shannon actually,
Yeah,
I think Shannon actually put together numbers for the water out at O'Connell, and then I can't remember how much it was, but I remember seeing it and being like, oh my god, like that's so much money.
but
And
yeah,
you're talking both fields, though, baseball and the.
I mean, softball, we don't try really hard during the off season just because no one really uses it during off season. So once it gets closer, and we don't really have to when it is raining, like during December through like March-ish, February-ish, we don't have to. So then once we get into season, all we have to do is kind of like
Mhm.
upkeep it a little bit. But majority is the football field because it's huge. I mean, not that like the actual football field is huge, but the area where the football field is at is
Football field, and
huge.
you got the side of the field and
Mhm.
the south end field, we're talking about with the.
And you get, I mean, it depends on the timing of everything. Cause I'm almost thinking you could do like an L-shaped parking lot because that other side, if it ends up being a stadium that's multi-use that you can use for soccer also, you could just turn that whole this side and right here, and then you still have space on the other side, like for free,
I think
whatever.
like you said, just making that south end a parking lot, I think it'll eliminate all the parking issues.
Cause I feel like you should be able to fit like another
Lots.
20 to 40,
More
depending
than
on,
that.
really?
More than that,
It's a
I
pretty
think
big
you have, I
area.
think you have like cars parked here, like, then, yeah, it's huge.
Build up.
Mm.
It's
I don't do the 2 level.
It's pretty huge, it's pretty huge. It's gotta be at least 40, 50 yards from the goalpost to the
That's
sidewalk.
true. I feel like I'm making it smaller in my head
No,
than it is, but.
No, it's about at least 40, 50 yards, 'cause we practice out there and, yeah, it's about 40, 50 yards.
Mm,
Get the state to put the charging stations in there.
mm,
Let me ask you, in terms of, you know, what we're looking at this project, and we don't even have a timeline yet, we're so new
Right,
to
right.
this, right? But what about some type of measure with the city measure to fund this, you know, like a bond or something to put on the ballot to see if people would help? Because, you know, it's a community-wide project, and you know what, I think everybody should chip in, everybody.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And I don't know how well that would go over, I don't even know if the city ever did one of those.
That's a touchy subject.
yeah, that's why I'm more,
If it came more from us.
I think if it was more fundraiser based, then it would be easier than if you say like, we're gonna, or not like,
Yeah,
yeah.
just, I mean, something, you know, to get something for the community to buy in on.
Contribute.
I mean, we should do what they did for Leroy and have like an actual
Yeah.
meter out there. So that way we show like, this is how much we're trying to get, this is where we're at. Cause that helped a lot. Like it,
See it.
people are all visual, so.
I mean, should we even put like an official announcement what we're trying to do? I mean, actual like.
Eventually, yeah.
I think once we have,
A rendition and all that and get everything in order, so we know what we want.
I wanna do it yesterday.
I've still been telling people it's gonna happen anyway.
I know, I think so Lompoc took 5 years to get theirs fully up and going, but there was also COVID in the middle of that and some other things like. Grant money is a lot better than it was 5 years ago. I think that we're really positioned really well. Like I've been running all of the numbers on like, I mean, it's kind of sad when you start running the numbers.
graphics.
Yeah. Like just health issues, high school dropout rates, all the stuff that makes us really favorable for funding is also kind of a sad narrative of the story, but this will be a nice thing that's gonna pop up our city to make it like more desirable and help the community. So I think, you know, we have a lot of stuff going for us. 5 years with Lompoc. I think we could, you know, hopefully cut that down if they're willing to kind of tell us what worked for them, what didn't. And I think we have some momentum, so.
I think we really have to figure out a cost. That's the main, what do we want and then the cost, and then we can go from there.
I mean,
Heck, it's doable, it's just a matter of the commitment, but I like the idea of getting like a
Cause
subcommittee.
didn't we get 7 point something for Leroy? I think. So I feel like 5 is doable. Like that's not.
we're not building many buildings, it's mostly just field.
Mhm.
So the turf alone is estimated based on current rates at $1 million. Then you add in the bleachers, the lights, the track. The multi-use.
And then the track, then that's where we gotta kind of be careful. Do we want the track exactly how the high schools are doing it? That's where you need to be fenced off, that's where you need the rules, because the high schools really protect those, the track.
Well, I know the way that, and Hancock is like a really, really nice field, but the way that they have theirs is they have it, the whole thing fenced in. So like the track is what has the first fence. And I don't think the football field actually has any fencing. They have like
Yeah.
the bleachers and stuff, but the fence is on the very
Outside of-
perimeter, yeah.
Of the track.
Mhm.
Any objections to renaming the park? And what only reason I bring it up is because I know in Fresno, casino there.
Gun Concord,
Yeah.
that's a good
The
idea.
casino there donated $5 million to rename it Shumash Park, or fancy over there.
I call it whatever if they get.
Whatever you
Sign
want.
up for top dollar.
I mean, I think we should rename it something like sports complex, because if
Yeah.
we eventually have baseball out there and we have baseball, softball, and then we have the multi-use field that's soccer, track and football,
You could
then.
name the park something and you still name the stadium something. So you guys.
Oh,
have
that's true.
Multiple names.
Yeah,
Cause they had
But the
baseball
guy,
fields also too.
but Jack O'Connor, who was a politician, right?
He was
Who was Jack O'Connell?
I
think it was state
Representative or something like that, we were trying to get him here so he would come often, come
He
back.
was the one
here
that helped
and
get the
stuff like
grant.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they do.
I don't think that would be a big deal, other than like you
since
said.
he's not involved anymore, so it's
Money
time.
speaks volumes, right? You know?
with no watch on, it's.
Jack's gone.
All right.
No, I think that, being open to renaming it, like if it increases our depth of
Mhm.
who may be willing to give us money.
Yeah. So somebody that's really in the community. That's
Somebody
really,
that really got a lot of money.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think once we get closer to figuring out things for the multi-sport stadium, then we could also reach out to people about the baseball and softball field and say, like, if you donate X amount of money, then we'll just rename it each one after you, and then have like a general name for the whole
Yeah.
sports complex. Maybe just call it Guadalupe Sports Complex, and then have like names for each thing.
You keep the field,
Mhm.
baseball field, yeah, everybody has.
Very cool.
Will this have like a announcer's box?
Yes, press box, yes.
Yeah.
There are an incredible amount of ideas that could come out of this, in terms of how to raise the funds.
Mhm.
It's a good start.
We have lights.
No, I mean, actually, they have like the graduation and right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, really,
Entertainment,
Yeah,
big
entertainment.
bands there.
be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think as far as next steps, I'll take these next meetings for Thursday, Monday and Tuesday. I'll send you all an email, just kind of summarizing what came out of those meetings. And you guys are all invited to attend if you're
That
able
was
to.
the question recommended.
And then
That's what I'm doing.
after that, I would like to put together just like a sub-working group where we go through like, hey, do we want a press box? Do we want this? And I think that our strategy should be like, build it to like our perfection and like swing for the fence. Like if we can get all this, great, but if not, we tried and we have whatever we were able to get. But I think that we build it what we want, thinking about all of those stakeholders that might have a vested interest in like the graduations, bringing track, different venues. And then after that, I think our biggest hurdle right now is we need a fiscal sponsor,
Mhm.
because we can't take in any money until we have an organization that will be our organization that will hold the money till it's time to start building.
Yeah.
So I know originally I had thought about Los Amigos, they're no longer. I understand there was some, kind of rockiness as they were folding, so I don't know if there's any other ideas that I could approach, but that is probably our biggest thing, is needing to find a sponsor.
I mean, I know there's the Guadalupe Sports Hall of Fame, and then they have a connection, I think, to Chumash,
Right.
because I think,
Yes, they do, yeah.
yeah, so that might be
Yeah.
one to reach
Oh.
out
Might have
to.
your own nonprofit. Maybe we can meet with Joe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and the mayor is part of that too, so.
Even include, I don't know, even include the baseball field.
Yeah, but you
Mhm.
have to, part of that complex.
Yeah.
It would be a sport,
Yeah,
it would be a sports complex. You gotta have a baseball.
And I think
field.
we'll definitely get all the people that are involved, especially the mayor, he would love that.
Yeah.
Mhm,
That's his dream, I think,
mhm.
sure.
Just do additional turf out there and not much more.
Mhm. Does anyone know their like head people very well that could kind of like vouch for me to try and get a meeting with them?
I could try to set up a meeting, because the last time that I met with them, it was when I tried to do the 50s
dance.
dance, and they were willing to let me funnel like all the money through them. So I'm sure like if we incorporate the baseball field into that, they'd be like, oh yeah, like we'll do it.
No, they meet every Thursday, right?
I think, yeah.
Maybe we can go to that, because I've been to one before.
Thursday?
I'll have to ask if they still do meet every
I think so. It's
Thursday.
a veterans group, I believe, and some of those are.
I'll ask the mayor
Yeah,
tomorrow.
and maybe we can get on, it's kind of an informal setting, it's,
Mhm.
we can just go there and present the idea, and I'm sure there'll be a buy-in, and I think, they're sports minded, for the most part.
Mhm.
Like it's, yeah.
Yeah, cause really, I mean, of all the reading and stuff that I've done, like, and what we are asking these the nonprofit to do as a fiscal sponsor is just be able to utilize their nonprofit ID and solicit for these grants under the premise of their nonprofit status, but they're not gonna have to write anything, do anything. I'll do all that on the back end. I just need to use their tax ID, so.
Yeah.
No, I think I mentioned before, I belong to a nonprofit and out of Fresno, and we have, we stretched out to Santa Maria, where we have classes and stuff, and you guys know that. We could do it. The only thing is that sometimes there's a percentage for the administrative part. It's usually around 7 to 8% of whatever the grant comes in, so that they get the money and they have the accountants making sure that the money's going in the right places, or like a payroll. So I'm sure we could do it. I'm 99% sure that the CEO would say, yeah, go with it. So we have the nonprofit status, and we have a background in terms of housing development and low income housing and moderate housing income, and a lot of different programs. So we're well established, and so I mean, if we want to go that route, I'll introduce it to them.
Okay. Yeah, either way,
But that
Definitely.
8% is tied in, once your grant's written, it's taken off the top, the administrative fee, I guess you call it.
I think the pro to Guadalupe Sports Hall of Fame is number one. It has Guadalupe in the name. So, and then even just like advertising and stuff later on with banners and stuff, at least we're showing that it's like an internal
Yes.
group. But then at the same time, I think pro with yours is that there is more, it wouldn't have to be like the committee keeping track of the money as much as you guys would be able to keep better
We have a
track of
track
that.
record already of established,
Yeah,
program
exactly.
agency. With the smaller group, if they don't have it, you're right, it's gonna be a little more difficult, trying to keep track. If they don't have an accountant on staff, then that means someone else on the committee's gonna have to do it. And when you're talking that kind of money, it's difficult,
Yeah.
you want checks and balances, and they're gonna look for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna know,
mhm.
if this money's going where it's supposed to be going.
And maybe it's even something where for like the bigger portion of the project, it goes through the organization you're with, but maybe we could for like the lighting and some smaller, like, we could utilize the sport.
That's true.
Cause we could do
Keep
both.
involved, yeah.
So, yeah, I'll, after these meetings this week, then I'll connect and see, hey, here's where we're at. And after we have our planning meeting of what we want it to be. Now, in that initial planning meeting with all of us on, what this field looks like, is there anybody from the community as far as a representatives that we want to include their input? I feel like everyone can have input, but we're the only ones that get a vote right now.
But they don't wanna make it too large initially.
No, I wanna keep it pretty small, so I don't know if there's anyone that like Boys and Girls Club or school or anyone that comes to mind, or if we just wanna keep it small till it goes further down the line.
My opinion is keep it small until if we start to notice, like, we do need help from Boys and Girls Club. Like, if we notice there are certain people that we do need to touch base with, and then we start kind of adding people in. But until that happens, I feel like there's going to be, especially here, I love everyone here, but there's going to be too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and we're all going to be like, well, I want this, instead of us all kind of saying like, okay, this is the common goal, like this is what we want. We're going to have too many people saying like, well, I want this instead of what
Yeah.
you want.
But I think you have to be open to ideas, though.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And that's not, I don't mean like not open to ideas. I just feel like there's very
We can give them certain options.
strong personalities here.
These are the only options are available. Which of these options do you like?
Well, do we want to meet first as a small group and then create our plan and then invite in those outside entities that might have a stakeholder
Mhm.
interest, and then we can take their input, but ultimately the final decision comes back to the commission that it
Yes.
All those
Our
approved,
plan.
bob your head up and down.
Okay, so if for our small group meeting, can we use this area if I coordinate it with you,
Yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Alright. It's gonna be a thing, put it in the universe. At the snack bar and the lights and the chairs. Alright, well, that is, I know that was a lot, but that's all I
No, that
have.
was
All
good.
good, all good.
Mhm.
Is any more pertaining to Jack McConnell?
Can you give me an update on the Las Mujeres project?
I think I put it, is it in the minutes? I put. Oh, no, that's from the minutes from the meeting. That in my. Report to city council, let me see if I can pull it up, because I put in my report to city council where they're at
I
with
know
central.
several months ago, they were wanting, a lot of information and quickly, on our end, and
We gave
then all of a sudden.
Like, wah-wah.
what happened?
Oh.
Are you talking about like for the renaming aspect, or are you talking about?
No, I'm
just the
talking
parking
about
general?
the
Oh,
whole
okay.
process, where
Yeah.
we're at with it, once again,
Yeah, let me,
start, seeing some shovels and picks and.
I think that's happening in March. If I remember correctly, I have the schedule on my board, but I just don't have it memorized.
What's the delay?
I think it's just been like the planning. They're trying to be very detailed with the planning, and I know at first they had an original drawing and then they had to like redo everything because of the drainage, and then also what was the other thing?
I'm just recalling the Zoom meetings we had with them, and it seems like things were going and all of a sudden movement.
They still meet every month. Let me see.
Where's those meetings?
They're just on Zoom. It's just the design group and then Public Works. And I hop into a couple of them, but I just haven't recently because they were asking me for like a lot of long-term things, and I kind of was like, I'm not gonna be here.
You're slowing us down.
It's me. No, they're still going. They send me the updates every month still, but let me see if I can find the
Is there a
minutes.
new Shannon yet?
No, there is not. So Dianera Cruz, I forget what her actual title is, but she was originally hired to be Shannon's assistant, and she's taken over a lot of stuff. But that's not her actual job. So I know that there's still Dwayne Chisholm is still the interim, but I think he only works. It's either like 15 or 20 hours a week right now. So I think they're trying to find somebody as quickly as possible.
Now, let me ask you, is there any way we can just get in on a Zoom meeting just to see where they're at?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I can ask them to have you on the next
Well,
Zoom call.
I think any of us, nobody wants to sit down and see what's going on. I'm just curious.
The Left My Heart Park.
My thinking is that so we're looking at launching another project. This one's still
Kind of.
grinding, let's see if we can get this one done. Hey, look at this. And now we're gonna do this. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
Okay,
give us some momentum.
Yeah.
so they met on September 7th. So they should be meeting, I think it's either the end of this week or the beginning of next week.
Give me an email if you will.
Okay, yeah, it was in I'll just send you my report from the September, whatever meetings was, the 20 or the 17th, I don't know. When was this? It was from the Tuesday, September 22nd meeting as part of my report, but I'll,
That's fine. Just,
I'll forward
yeah,
that.
the other question I had is vacant positions. I know we have one here and then. Are you still leaving?
Oh, you still are?
Mhm. Chief actually, I think it was in our last managers meeting, he was like, so rumor is that you're gonna stay. And I was like, who said that? And he was like, I don't know, everybody's just saying it. And I was
Started
like,
a rumor.
I know he started it probably.
Well, I'm gonna keep there when we're going.
Yeah.
Has anyone applied for the vacant commission seat?
Yeah, so we had, Arnulfo and then, Mike Rockland, is that how you, Rockland? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. So that will go into this next Tuesday's meeting for council to decide. And I didn't want to like have an opinion because,
Endorse.
yeah, I've heard. No, I'm done.
Yeah.
They can decide.
How does the process work? Like, does each candidate come and say like, this is why I want to be on the commission?
So they submit their letter of interest and then I submit it through my staff report and then just tell them like, you can pick based off of this letter of interest, but I also do let whoever applied know like, okay, it's gonna be at this next meeting. You should be present. It will reflect either well or poorly on you if you are not here or if you are here. And I think when they did yours and Trevor's, I think they asked you guys to speak, right? Or no, they didn't.
Speak if you wanted to.
They did for mine. I remember I didn't know about speaking and I was like, ah.
We were disappointed, like, we were like, because I was telling Trevor to get ready for the speech, you know, it's better.
Or maybe they
if-
didn't. I don't think they did.
If they're here, yes, because I'll ask and see if, is that person here? And yeah, he's right here, and he came walking up to speak. So if you're here during the meeting when they're announcing it, they'll ask if the person wants to speak.
I don't think he said anything though. I think they just asked if he was here.
Who?
Trevor.
He spoke. He came
Really?
up there and spoke.
Wow, we did all that.
Yes, he did.
Never came.
He did.
Cute pictures.
I was proud of him.
Yes.
Wow, we're gonna have to retake those pictures.
Now, once the person's selected, like, is that the done deal, or then does it come back to the commission and when we're like, yes.
I don't think-
No, they're the ones that appoint.
And then they'll just speak here.
Mhm.
It'd be nice to get a recommendation from us, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is always good.
yeah.
They're asking for too much.
I know, I just didn't want to like. I wanted them to decide, because I don't want that to be
Yeah,
on us.
If it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Ken?
No, it was you guys, not me. No, so,
We'll hunt you down, Hannah. That's all I had.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go to item number 9, November Recreation and Parks newsletter editions.
Okay, for November, I don't have a lot just because it's not like we have a lot of events going on during November, so it's just gonna be the Dia de los Muertos event, which I need to meet with Arnulfo and Stephanie to work out details for that, because we kind of just left it how it was at the last meeting, where it was more like general. We have a good idea of what we're going to offer, but we haven't nailed down like times. We have the dates obviously because it's going to be the 1st and the 2nd. It's going to be at Vets Hall, but we don't have like a specific time of like when it's going to start, or if we're going to have like a certain cutoff time. So I'll meet with them and then make flyers for that. And then the Veterans Weekend tournament, I'll put on that. And I'll also, once I finish everything and then send it to you guys and get your okay, I'll post it like as soon as I have everything together too, so that way I can start advertising it as soon as possible. Drop-in schedule, and that's pretty much it, unless you guys have anything that you want added.
I think we're having a cornhole tournament, but that's October 29th.
Okay, I can still post that if you guys send me. I think, did you send me the flyer for that already? I can't remember if we did.
What was it me?
It must have been either, I think it was Lisa, because I gave her your contact information, maybe because they need to reserve the
Maybe-
park.
Let me double check, because I can't remember if I got that flyer or not. I feel like I would have posted it if I got it. I'll check my emails a little bit later. That's all I have though, other than unless you want anything else.
Can't think of anything.
I know the veterans are kind of an exclusive club here, like as far as not being open to new members. But is there anything that we could ever advertise? Like, do they do monthly meetings or weekly events or something to help
I
advertise what
know
they're doing? Or would that not be good for them?
the VBA does,
If you were to try them.
I think the VBA does a meeting, excuse me. I'm not tired, I don't know why I'm done. I think they have a meeting every Saturday, but I always get confused what group is what. I always forget like which post is what, so I need to ask which post is it that meets every Saturday, because it might be Deke Segovia, the one that he's a part of, but they're Vietnam vets, so I think, oh yeah, that's what VBA stands for. Oh. Yeah, so the Vietnam vets meet every Saturday, but I don't think the other post, or at least that I know of, meets.
Yeah.
So I'll have to ask
That
that.
other group was definitely getting up there in age last Veterans Day when we saw
Yeah.
them.
Like we.
Yeah, it was, I mean, they were,
Oh, you know
I-
what? I'll have to ask Chief if he's gonna do that event again, because wasn't the veterans one that he did last year during Thanksgiving? I think. It was like the one that was with Vandenberg, but it was also veterans came too, but I think it was during,
it was,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
I'll have to ask him.
Oh, and I do have a flyer, this lady that's doing fitness classes at the senior center. She posted it on our neighborhood page and it's just like on a Word document, but I'll send you the information.
Okay.
I think it's twice a week they're doing senior fitness. I don't know what all that.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about it's Monday, Wednesday is senior fitness, and then Tuesday, Thursday is line dancing?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know about that one because they're doing it here.
Yeah,
So I posted that already on the newsletter for this month.
okay,
Yeah. She's so nice. Yolanda?
yes, she
Yes.
posted it. I was like, can I share this with the Parks and Rec? She's like, please. I guess they're really trying to get people to come out to that.
They were
Niche
really.
market for line dancing.
You made me on it.
My wife was really good.
Go, yeah, I'll go with you guys.
Good support.
I'll be your
She said for line dancing, she's like, it's open to anybody, so if you want to come, you can come too. And I was like, well, maybe on Thursday I'll go.
I am so uncoordinated and.
She said, even if you think that you have two left feet, that you can still do it, so.
Yeah, it's on the flyer.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
They heard every excuse.
Anybody can dance.
Okay, I guess we go to item number 10, other matters of importance that the recreation service manager will discuss if deemed necessary.
Garrett Matsura is still working on the website, but he's been doing bios. He has yours and he has yours, and he's still waiting for you guys.
I sent them.
Huh? Yeah, I sent it like a while ago, because I think you guys sent it
After you guys.
a while back.
No,
I know you did, because he asked me for them.
I told him, he goes, Joe, I still need your picture. That's all right.
And he said it doesn't have to be anything long. It can literally be like 2 or 3 sentences, but just something.
Yeah. Oh, resume.
What does everybody else say?
I was just copying it. Be like, hey, can you send it to me? I'm gonna copy and paste.
I don't even remember what all I put on my.
Enrique ends up saying, I am the cheer instructor for the Guadalupe cheerleaders. I love to wave my pom-poms around.
I like to yell at 8-year-olds.
That's all I had. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, but I guess you could do that in
I was
11.
wondering if we were gonna have the house decorating contest still.
Oh, yeah. That was really fun last year.
You guys should listen to something, or
No, but I mean, I don't know if I'm
it's gonna be.
gonna be
here for it.
here.
Okay.
So that's up to you guys. If you guys think that you can still facilitate it, because I can have deadlines be before I leave, and then I can just give you guys the houses, but then from that point, you guys would have to figure out.
Could we use the
Judging
electric
and-
class?
Ooh, that would be cool.
Upgrade.
I
Good idea.
I actually don't know when we're
I'm gonna have to use
using it. I don't, because somebody said something about like that it was going back to some other area. And I was like, where is it going?
Ribbon cutting. No, it was really fun last year. I think, well, it was just the three of us last year, right, that went on there, but. So we went and then got to see all the houses lit up and people went all out.
Mhm.
I mean, there was like a full Jesus next to Mickey Mouse. next to the Reindeer. I mean, it was-
The Grinch one was my favorite one with all the audio and stuff. That was so cool.
And it was fun. People came out and like talked to us and
Mhm.
stuff. I thought it was fun.
One family said, we're ready for next year already.
Yeah?
We're going up.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, be serious, be serious.
I mean, I'm open to it. If you guys want that to happen, I can start, I can work on advertising now and then put it in for November. Well, I probably have to put it in now, so that way they know that the deadline is November, whatever. Cause I think we did it, when did we do the judging? Like,
It was in December.
but I think they had to have it submitted earlier than that, cause I wanna say that it was sometime like after Thanksgiving, I think, was the deadline to have everything up, cause I think we went and judged like the first week of December already. Cause I think part of the other thing that we ended up, why we did it early is because some people were gonna be out of town like during Christmas, and I know we actually ran into that where there's a couple people that like weren't even home, so we couldn't even see their lights or anything.
And then the person showed up while we were.
I know, they were like, who's that?
Came out of that house. We turned around, yeah, they did, let's go back.
It was
Right.
fun. I mean, it would be nice if we could do it, but
Yeah.
I understand too that you are like trying to close stuff out, so I'm up for it either
Just say
way.
you're leaving. No, no.
You're leaving, sure.
It would be nice, but, you know, we completely understand if it doesn't happen.
I'll pull the information that I had from last year, because I'm having a hard time remembering the time frame of like how I did things. So I'll pull that from last year, and then depending on like the time frame, I'll just let you guys know like what I would be able to do and what I wouldn't be able to do. But
And if we could get the bus, that would be super cool.
yeah, let me ask about that.
Last year we were in an unmarked truck that looked a little sketchy. We'd like jump out.
Well, no, we were in the
Where's
city.
these?
We were in the city truck, but I think we just didn't have the city decals on it yet. It was the new,
The new one, yeah, there's no decals on it.
so and it had the tinted windows, so they probably were like, what the heck?
Yeah, we start taking pictures. And the only last question I had, Hannah, is there any movement on anyone applying for your position?
So we recently have a new interim HR person. So with that being said, Amelia is gonna be the interim, and she's not starting until next Wednesday, I think, because it has to get approved by council first.
What happened to the other guy?
Question, didn't get a straight answer.
Oh,
It's just, he's trying to stay in here.
So because of that,
tell me that. I'm just trying to track, like, we just hired a guy to replace, what was her name?
Amelia,
Emilio.
yeah, because she was,
Amico, right?
so it was Amico, and then Amelia was interim for a while, because I think Amico was here when I first started, and then I can't remember when she left. I think it was, I don't remember, but I know Amelia was interim for a while. And then this last person started, I can't remember when he started either. I'm so bad at keeping timelines together in my head. Yeah, but
About 4 months ago, 1 or 5 months ago.
I think it was a little bit longer than that, because I know that we did like a Thanksgiving chili cook-off or something, and he was there for that. So I think he actually was almost here for like a year
Oh.
almost, or close to it.
So now we have an interim again, and then they're starting the hiring process over again.
Mhm.
Okay. Did they get any traction the first time they advertised it?
For the HR position?
For your position?
There was only 2 people that, I don't know if there was only 2 people that applied, but I only got 2 applications. So I don't know if that was like what was vetted through already, and they just gave me the people that were qualified. There was a gentleman from Texas, and then a lady she came from Boys and Girls Club in Solvang and Buellton, and she was directing both of those sites. She said in the interview that she wasn't in a rush, but at the same time, it's been like almost I mean, for sure a month already since we interviewed her. So I'm not sure if by this point, if maybe she's found something else, because I don't think anyone ever said anything back to her, because I'm trying to remember. I never got, because most of the time when they send stuff to whoever applied for positions that either I'm overseeing or like in this case that is gonna take my role, I get CC'd in those, and I never was CC'd in anything, so I don't think.
Was she a quality candidate that might be worth like revisiting if she's still interested?
Yeah, definitely. I think she would be really good.
I think so too.
And at least from what I've been told and what I have asked them to please do, she would not be in charge of facilities at all, and or maintenance or anything like that. That would all be under Todd, and then the lead would take over like majority of the responsibility for maintenance, and then this person would only be in charge of recreation stuff. So that would help a lot. Yeah, I'll ask tomorrow, because I haven't really heard anything, and I don't want to make any promises, and I know that it's gonna be in the minutes what I say, but this is a guess that I might end up staying a little bit longer, because I
See,
did
you were breaking you down.
I did tell them,
already know that.
I did tell them that I wanted this person to be with me for like at least a month, which if I'm leaving November 15th and we're already getting close to middle of October and haven't heard anything, like that's not going to be enough time for me to train this person. And I don't want them really confused about everything that's going on. So it just depends on how things happen, but
And hopefully it works like that way.
Well, either way, they're gonna have to hit the ground running.
Mhm.
That's just the way the nature of it.
yeah, because even if they were to hire somebody now, I'm sure, or pick somebody now, it would still take like a week or two for them to go through the whole onboarding process and to finish all their trainings and everything before they could even train with me specifically or like shadow me. So we'll see how that goes.
I definitely appreciate you wanting to train the new person. I think that's awesome. I would also offer, don't allow the HR changeover to slow down your life too. So
Mhm.
advocate for the fact that they don't just get to sit on not reaching back out to a high quality candidate, like.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, I'm just saying, like, don't.
Joe's like, I told them that.
But I appreciate that you're willing to stay, but also know that like the city owes it to you as a really amazing employee to continue to move forward with the process so you can move on with your life plans as well. But that's my 2 cents. That is not the opinion of the commission. It's just me saying, don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of by slow processes, because people will take advantage of really great people. Not saying that that's the case. but-
If we're in agreement, you bob your head.
That's how we vote here. Bob your head.
Bob your head.
Pass.
All I had.
That's all I have for the contract.
Yeah, I apologize, just because I was talking about updates on Las Vegas and other stuff back on regular business item 8. I thought we were already up. I was lost. Apologize to you guys.
Oh, no.
No worries.
No problem, no. We're getting down to, I guess, item number 12? 11, yeah. Commission requests, that's right. Commission requests, comments, and meeting reports.
Yeah.
Commissioner Ortiz.
Yes, I got this pamphlet, it was given to from one of my coaches. He worked for the city of Santa Maria, and it's a solution, it's a natural solution. But pet safe and they use it for.
For the
golf-
gophers?
golfers and,
Ooh, yeah.
So meanwhile, while we're still, working on this project about the turf and all that, I could get some volunteers, that I know that I wanna dip after the season, disc the field again, cause right now it's bad. It's not safe. Not even, it's bad to even practice on. So, I wanna, even before I even disc it, I wanna propose this, on our next agenda. I just got it, so I gotta read up on it, so I had a little more info on it. And just use it before we even do that, see if there's any kind of result,
Yeah.
so, before we disc it, there's results. So what it does is it prevents it doesn't kill gophers, it just keeps them from the area.
Mm.
So, it's not any kind of, it doesn't kill
Sounds
them.
interesting.
Yes, so like I said, just try it out for a while, see what the result is, then, if it's working, disc it,
So,
grade it real quick, and then, cause last time we did that, we even had to throw seed on it, the grass just grew back naturally.
Hmm.
So,
so when you just the whole field,
we disced the whole field a couple years ago.
and you're gonna do it again?
We do it again.
Are you, how long does it take it to get ready for the season? I mean, does
It grew quick.
really?
It does grow back
It
really
grew
fast.
quick. We didn't put no seed and it's crabgrass, so it just.
Yeah.
Even that area that isn't the field, like that's next to the playground, during dry season, it dries out and it's like all just dust. And then as soon as it starts raining again, it all comes back like a lot.
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, just I want to read up on it and have more info and have this on the agenda. This discuss about, disking it and having some officers disc it and grade it and all that and just have it.
So what does that entail? Do you know? I mean, in general, what is?
It's a tank, oh, okay, so this tank, what they do is they tie it into the sprinkler system. And I guess he was telling me that they didn't do it for the whole field area, but it's a certain part of the area, they isolated it an area.
To see if it works?
And according to him, it works.
I think the school district does that too, because I think I had that conversation before with who was I talking to? It was someone from the school district and they were saying, oh, Peter, yeah. And he was saying that that's what they do. Oh my God, that was a big bug.
That's interesting because if that works, right? But we'll still go ahead with,
Yeah, of course.
but for the baseball field.
Yes,
That might work.
Yes.
I mean, and it's worth trying it out to see
Right.
if it works there.
right, yeah, so like, we don't have to do turf for every field.
Correct.
Mhm.
And if that works.
That works, but they still need to be graded and, cause,
Like every couple of years or.
no,
Don't like flying bugs.
if you get go for the control, you could fix the problem,
Yeah.
like right now, like the softball field, you would have to, I've seen, I've looked at a lot of videos, see how people upkeep their fields in there, so that, they get a mixture of sand and soil, and then they spread it out and they grade, they do it so often.
Mhm.
So it gets the field level again, there are no holes and stuff, so especially what we have to do. So, that's basically, what needs to be done.
Mhm.
That's
And
interesting concept. So it's just some type of chemical in the water that goes.
Yeah, they tie it in and then,
So that resists or they.
yeah, it deters them from, coming up and,
Cause I know.
but it doesn't kill them.
Like in my
That's
own yard, that they sell this at Lowe's and at Home Depot with
Yeah,
the vibration, you put it in there.
Yeah.
And it's worked for a while, but I'm thinking something like that on a larger scale, at least in the perimeter.
yeah, I don't even know if this will, it's even possible to tie this into I just,
Right.
It's gotten
Yeah, but-
really, really bad out there. I heard because of all the rain, it like significantly increased gopher mating season. And it is insane, like, we can't even, with we used to be able to let the kids run to the fence and back, and we really can't anymore because there's just so many gopher holes.
So, yeah, that's why, like, the last time we dissed it and then graded it, the field's good for a year or two, and then.
You know what, we had thinking about that, because if we present this need for artificial turf to a group of, say, potential stakeholders or taking an actual video of what it's like out there so they can actually see it. 'Cause I think that speaks volumes, right? And if it's the worst case scenario, I think we should probably do that now before we.
We should flag every single gopher hole and then just take a picture. Just get like a whole group of, I know, but just get like a huge group of volunteers and then just flag like,
So even if you have video, you can't,
Tell the depth.
yeah.
Don't move.
No, 'cause actually, cause
Mr. Miyagi over here. Where's your chopsticks?
No, actually, when you drive up to the park and it's, they just cut it, it looks nice. You actually gotta walk on it.
Mhm.
You actually need to experience it.
Well, I think that's, I'm just throwing that out there in terms of
You
something.
gotta come on one day, just come check it out.
Yeah, no, I've been there and I've seen, in fact, Leroy Park's starting to get them too, right?
Not as bad, but yeah, there are some over there.
Yeah, we heard
That's
about
the more, see, the difference between, Leroy Park and O'Connell is that Leroy Park is sandy,
Mhm.
it's not
so
clay.
it's not as.
So
Yeah.
the Gophers don't like sand, it collapses.
Right.
Clay stays together, so the last rain, all the burrows
Mhm.
collapse. That's why I did, yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah.
They're so bad out there.
Yeah.
No, but I do like, as we start pitching this concept, to both grants and donors, like, it would be nice to have a video of some form, like, not only the, our current conditions, but really to speak to like how much passion is out there on the field, when there's the football
Yeah.
players out there and cheer and baseball.
You
and
know, many
softball.
documentaries.
I don't mind filming out there, I'm just not an editor.
We need our own camera crew.
I go over, I see people make movies with iPhones, so.
That's true.
They're really interesting.
They advertise that for iPhones when they do like the new iPhones. They're like, you can make a movie on your phone.
Like our
Do we know how many injuries resulted from that?
Thousands.
Throughout the seasons I've experienced, because of the field being hard, the way it is, a few collarbone breaks, that's about the worst of it, of that, but a lot of today.
Yeah, but we don't have like,
Nothing broken,
but even twisted ankles. they're
Yeah.
serious.
yeah, every year there's some, and all I can do is like,
I mean,
so bad, it's so bad. I feel like-
If we actually had kind of an idea that would could bode well for making that pitch, we can't play on this hill because, the injuries just mount up, the cost of medical bills for parent. And how do they have insurance if they sign?
Yeah, our insurance is a secondary insurance, so we have to go through
Their primary?
Their primary, then our secondary.
Oh, I see.
And still, you still have to pay like a $500 deductible. Yeah, so you have your insurance and that deductible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still better than paying
Yeah.
40,000-50,000.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Okay.
so I just like to get something to just to at least
Yeah.
discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely something that-
All those in favor?
Adjourn.
Go for structure.
Bobby Road.
Any more requests, comments, or reports from anybody? Well, we're looking forward to the next meeting already. Let's go down to item number 12, adjournment. So we have a motion in a second.
I second it.
All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye or bobbing your head up and down. You just so called adjourn. Thank you for inviting us into your homes this evening. Have any questions, feel free to call the rec department.